Maybe it was a fish. Anyway, it was we were all alongside the Kankakee, which is a fleet oiler. And the Fisk was here and we were here. We were taking on fuel, and at the end of it, we were gonna have an emergency practice breakaway. So, we're ready to do this, and it's a practice so that if it ever happens, we'd know what to do.
Right.
So, taking care of muscle memory. Anyway, so there were 6-shot blasts of the whistle. That means we're gonna affect this. Now, normally breakaway, it goes pretty quick. Well, 20 minutes later, we are still alongside. This is for an emergency breakaway. And I'm going, oh, I can't believe how many mistakes we made. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't run into the other ship. So, about 4 days later, we're alongside, same deal. Fisk, us, replenished, the Kankakee is here, and we're steaming along. And I looked over, just out of the corner of my eye, I could see that the Fisk was beginning to drop back. And I'm thinking, ooh, this don't look good. And it was 6 blasts of the whistle from the Kankakee. And the captain of the Kankakee came out on the wing of the bridge with a bullhorn. And he says, this is no fucking drill.
Wow.
So I looked at my watch and I'm thinking, we just got through with a mess. And I could not believe it, but 40 seconds went by and we went free.
Wow.
And we went to flank speed right away. We broke away and headed out into the formation. I remember the kid that was running the whole thing down below, he was one of the petty officers who was kind of in charge of the whole thing. And we got off on a bad foot a few months before. And he had a badass attitude, and I had no room for any of that shit. He was a black kid. But this kid had potential. He wasn't a stupid. He was just kind of looked like he was enjoying being an asshole.
Jeez.
So he comes to my wardroom, my stateroom, and he wants to talk to me about the reason I'm not treating him like he's some kind of royalty. So I said, he says, you don't like me because of this, right? And I said, sit down. I got a story to tell you. I said, my grandfather came to this country and there were signs in the windows that no Irish and no dogs need apply here. So you want to talk to me about being prejudiced about something? I was an Irish Catholic, and that's why they decided that I was some kind of asshole and I wasn't going to be, treated like a human being. So if you think that I don't know anything about this kind of bullshit going on, you are wrong. You are screwed up. And unless you get your act together, you're never going anywhere in this Navy. So if you want to change your attitude about things, okay. If you don't, you are dead meat here. good day. He turned out to be one of the best petty officers I ever had.
Yeah.
But he had to be confronted,
Yeah.
and I did. And his name was Dance. And he was just an excellent petty officer. But he needed to be called on it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he was the one that, at the end of that time where we were, we had a real emergency, because the Fisk was
Yeah.
paying out a lot of rubber, because that's what those pipes are made out of. Anyway, he ended up being the guy who made that go for 40 seconds.
Wow.
So I went down after it was all over, down to the Bestex, and the whole crew was down there. And I said, Dance, well done. And I meant it. This kid did a great job.
Yeah.
And he was kind of, his station was the first one to get kicked out and ready to go, right now. So that was my Dance story. And he ended up being one of my best petty officers,
Yeah.
but he needed to have it laid on him.